Hey guys, welcome to Troy Time. Hey, check it out. What would it be like if you could have a garden? Any type of garden, whatever you like. Indoors or outdoors, soil or hydroponics, whether it's microgreens and sprouts, or whether it's baby greens, or full-blown indoor hydroponics, or full-blown outside large plants, right? Wouldn't it be great if you could have a garden? Well, I'm going to give you all the tips and everything you need. I've already started on this channel, but today we're going to start fresh. I got a whole series coming to you next of all the tips and tricks that I've been working on over the winter, okay? I've been testing, I've been prototyping, and things are working out awesome, okay? We're combining different things in different systems, and everything's really, really working out well. So I want to start sharing that with you so that you can get busy on it and get that garden that you've always wanted, right? No matter what it is, if it's a small indoor garden or a huge outdoor garden, there's stuff coming that's going to help you out. Stuff you haven't seen, because I've been prototyping and came up with most of this myself, okay? So let's get into it. Let's talk about it. Today we're going to start with just a couple things. This is part one. You're going to see some stuff you haven't seen or haven't thought about. And soon we'll do a part two, part three, part four. I'm going to try and film them all today and tomorrow. And over the course of the next week, I'm going to have all these videos out. There's probably 5 or 6 videos that are coming just to help you get started with the gardening and maybe do some things that you haven't thought possible before, both with soil and with hydroponics. We've got tips for everybody coming up next, okay? I'm super excited to share this stuff. Be sure and like and subscribe, guys. There's definitely some unique material ahead. Okay, so if you've been following my channel a lot, you've seen that we've done a lot with these green and whites, and I still do, and these work great, okay? If we're talking indoors especially, this is what I'm using for 95% of what I do, okay? There's different sizes that you can get, and I use those, and I like them as well. But these are awesome, okay? But I want to give you some other options. Okay, guys, let's get started. All right, so let's talk about this right here, okay? This is a seed starting lid, okay? It's used with a mason jar. You put your seeds in here, you rinse them off and everything, and then you put this on them, and you drain them, and you stand them up, and you grow your sprouts, okay? There's some more details in that, but everyone's probably familiar with seeing these, okay? So that's what we're gonna start with. We're gonna learn to combine things in different ways. So the first way you can use this seed starting lid is just like this, just on a mason jar, right? And you can use it to do sprouts. And I do use that, and they're great. You know, broccoli sprouts, lentil sprouts, things like that. You can sprout all kinds of things in these jars, and it works awesome. Right? But there's other uses that we can have for these seed lids. Okay, and let's talk about that next. All right, guys, these seed lids are going to have a lot of uses for us. Okay, we've used them on mason jars to do seed sprouting, which works great, and we get sprouts, which is awesome. But we can also use them in other ways. These are not expensive. Okay, I got a dozen for just over $12. I think it was maybe $13 or $14 for 12 lids, and so that's about $1 a lid, just over that, right? So, and these are in particular are the ones that I like. Okay, there's other ones that I bought in the past that I'm not that big of a fan of, and that's these here. This has a little handle so that it can actually sit at an angle. The jar will actually balance at an angle, but this handle just gets in the way. I don't like the fact that this area is raised or depressed, depending upon how you look at it, and it's just not my favorite compared to these. These are going to be much more useful for us going forward when we combine it in some of our other systems. As you'll see, 3 or 4 videos down the road, okay? But let's just start with the video for today. So these are the ones we want, and they're a mesh with a flat surface, okay? And they've got little legs, all right? And that's important because when we're using the plate method, we're going to invert them, okay? So if we're growing on a plate, we're gonna grow microgreens, we're gonna invert them this way, and we're gonna put our seeds right on here, okay? So we're gonna use this green and white tray. In the past, I've used this green and white tray to do the similar sort of things and grow baby lettuce and grow microgreens right here on the tray. And that works great. This works great if you're growing a lot of one thing. So if I'm growing mung beans across the whole plate, this works great. And I can grow a giant plate of mung beans in this space. But if I want to grow several different things, then this method is much better. Because now I can put different seeds in each cap, and I can harvest them at different times. So by growing different seeds in different trays, you can adjust a lot of parameters to give you lots of options, right? I could grow the same thing across multiple lids, and that could either give me a larger harvest or it could give me succession planting, right? So if I had something that, let's say, took 6 days to harvest, I could harvest it every 2 days by planting and harvesting them in succession. So I could have 2 days and then this one's ready, 2 days and then this one's ready, 2 days and then this one's ready, and just keep that cycle going. Whether it was something like radish sprouts or whether it was pea sprouts, pea shoots, that kind of thing. Anything that takes that 7 or 8 day period, you could cut it down to 2 days. But if I wanted to try a lot of different microgreens, then I would go to like the Dollar Tree and get a bunch of different seed packets for like 20 cents. And I could put a different one on each lid and sample all of them to see which one I like. Okay, so there's a lot of different options that you can do just by having a differential placement of all these different lids, as opposed to having one big platter. Okay, so that's one big benefit. Also, you can swap them in and out. So I could move things around as things get ready to harvest. I can put in new ones and take out old ones in a way that I can't do if I'm growing just on a single platter. All right, so growing microgreens like this is great. Okay, so then the first thing you might say is, okay, well, if you're doing that, how do I now do the humidity dome, and how do I keep them in the dark? Well, that's just as great now, because now we can go back to our mason jars, right? So now when we're growing inverted like this here on our plate method, there's our humidity dome, just like that, right? If I wanted to black it out, I could black it out with like a sock or what have you. There's different things that fit the mason jars as well. So now you can grow several different batches of microgreens. You can have them all with little humidity domes sitting inverted on a tray, right? Or you could just cover all these with a towel if you want to black it out as well. But now you have something that will support it so that the towel's not right on the seeds. So having a bunch of these on a plate is an awesome way to grow some microgreens. And if you wanted to keep them in line just a little bit more as your microgreens get bigger, you could always just opt up to a larger jar, right? Which works great. So now you have individual cells growing microgreens, okay? Instead of sprouting seeds, something like this here. Now you're actually growing the microgreens flat. You grow them flat and let them rise up so that they're nice and straight, so that they grow like a crop, okay? Instead of all intertwined for sprouts. And they grow much bigger and taller when you do it with this method. Alternately, you could just sit them and just let them grow. And you could do mung beans on these. They'll get like this tall, or pea shoots, or what have you. You could fill this plate up and just have a wonderful thing of microgreens, all with different flavors and varieties, right? So it's a great way to go using it for microgreens. Okay, so we've taken our seed lid, and now instead of just doing seeds, we're also doing microgreens. But you can also do baby greens, right? So that's baby lettuce, baby cabbage, baby kale, baby spinach, right? All kinds of different wonderful larger baby lettuces, right? Instead of a microgreen, but actual like getting into real bulk amount of lettuce or other greens, right? So the way you do that, there's a couple of different things. All right, also guys, if you didn't have the mason jars, that's fine too. And any plate will do. I'm using the green and white one often just because that's what I have. But here I have a just a little plastic Walmart plate, right? And I think those are like $1 or 50 cents. And you could just look at that, have a little flower pattern of them, and you can grow them just like that. Just bottom water onto the plate and let everything you're growing, all your microgreens and everything, come straight up. It's going to work awesome for you. Or really any plate at all. Okay, here it is on a dinner plate. You'd be bottom watering the same way and letting your microgreens just come right up. So having these lids is super versatile on any type of plate, whether you want to grow sprouts, whether you want to grow microgreens, and even if you want to do baby lettuces, baby greens. Okay, so when I'm growing things on a plate, generally I have them inverted, right? But if I'm going to do baby greens, now I'm going to flip the script. I'm going to go back to this way, and I'm going to use mason jars, okay? So now what we can do is, this is our reservoir, this is our grow surface, and we're just going to grow baby greens. We put lettuce seeds right up on top here. And we're just going to let the roots come down, okay? When they first start, it might be a reservoir this big, right? But as time goes on, and you've got a big, you've seen how big my lettuces grow on these plates. Well, now you're essentially just doing it on a cap like this, okay? So you could have a reservoir like this, and once those seeds sprout, you might never have to touch them again. And a month later, you'll have a huge bouquet of fresh greens, right? I'll show you some pictures of that we've been doing some other methods, but yeah, so it works really, really well. So you can put your seeds right up on here, okay? And then this is normally going to be covered with like a sock or a sheath, right? And then you just grow your greens right out the top of this thing, right? And you can use any size mason jar. The size of the mason jar will just determine how often you have to refill your nutrients. But if you use something like this, that's just going to be one time. So it's truly set it and forget it. And in about 4 weeks, you'll have a huge bouquet just from one of these jars, right, of greens. And again, that's spinach, or that's cabbage, or any type of lettuce or kale, and others too. So all good stuff, great to eat. And you can put these right on our 1-foot hydroponic tower, just like this, with everything growing out. And it really works well. And you can tell it won't take much space, and you can kind of combine everything and put them right on a plate, and you just have a massive way of growing a bunch of different greens, okay? Which would be harder to do if you were growing on a plate. I can grow one giant plate full of, let's say, romaine lettuce, but it's harder if I want to do romaine and tango and other leaf lettuces all in the same area. But by breaking up into individual portions, now I can do all the different types of lettuces and just have a nice just bouquet of different things to eat in a one plate space, okay, on any plate. Yeah, so I'm still prototyping and testing all this stuff, and you'll see the pics as my stuff is growing. But yeah, I highly recommend these lids, okay? We may have to do some modifications. There's a benefit to it as it stands in that this mesh is so small, I don't need any sort of medium at all, even on something as small as lettuce seeds, okay? On the green and whites, you've seen that we use toilet paper and things like that. That was just as a net to catch the seeds. This mesh is much smaller in diameter, so the lettuce seeds can catch right on here. It's so small that if you put the water on gently, the surface tension keeps the water from going down. So water actually kind of becomes its own substrate if you do it correctly, right? So that's a really neat thing that I'm working with and I'm prototyping. But it also may come to the point where we may have to go through with a nail and just bore out a few of these a little bit larger, right? Especially for other seeds like radishes and things like that. So I'm testing that now. But either way, it will be successful because we can always make this look like the green and white mesh just with the nail, just going through just real quick. It would only take 1 minute per lid to go through with a nail and just bore out a bunch of bigger holes, okay? But I buy these in a 12 pack, right? So I'll probably have some of them with some larger holes and some of them with just the regular mesh. We're gonna test it and see what we need to do, but I'm super excited about all the things that we can do with these going forward, okay? So today, this is just part one of what's probably gonna be a 5 or 6 video series, okay? We talked about the value of these little seed sprouting lids, and we talked about not only growing sprouts, but also growing microgreens and baby greens, both combining it with the plates and combining it with the mason jars, okay? We're gonna take a step forward in our next video and show you another way that you can use these and combine with other things that are really gonna be awesome as we move into other systems that we're using, all right? So we're gonna follow up more next video, more uses of these seed starting lids, right? So that's coming up soon, right? But there's gonna be several videos in this series, and I'm gonna try and knock them all out within a week, right? So look forward to it. Thanks for being here. Please like and subscribe. You don't wanna miss this material. We're coming into summer, and we're gonna have all kinds of unique things that you haven't seen before, all right? The way some of this stuff pairs up, I'm combining all kinds of different methods that I've been using, and it's really working well. So please like and subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, and we'll talk to you real soon. Check back probably tomorrow or next day because more videos are just dropping, right? All right, guys. It's great having you here. We're going to grow some food this summer, trust me. And anyone that wants to can jump in and follow along. It's going to be super easy, right? My stuff's always going to be simple. It's always going to be inexpensive. And we're always just going to be looking to grow your own food and have a good time. All right, thanks for being here, guys. We'll talk to you soon. This is Troy Time. I'm out.